his interview with the USA Today earlier this week, the president talked a bit about preemptive pardons, saying that they are still potentially on the table. Can you speak a little bit about the scope that he is considering when it comes to that, and if he's any closer to it?
So we have been saying that the president will have more to say, more to announce on pardons and commutations. So that is, we have 10 days to go. So certainly that will be very soon that we'll make those announcements. I'm not going to get into the scope. I'm not going to get ahead of the president, but we will be making some more additional announcements on pardons and commutations before the end of his term.
Yesterday, the Senate advanced the Laken Riley Act, which passed the House. If it's presented to him before he leaves office on the 20th, would the president sign that bill or veto it?
So I'm not going to get ahead of what's happening. I know there was a procedural vote that happened in the Senate. I'm going to let the process play out. Let the senators do their work on that. I don't want to get ahead of that. So we're going to let it play out. I'm not going to get into hypothetical on this right now.
The administration also often puts out statements of administration policy where it stands that you're not putting one out here.
Well, the process is still playing out, and so we're going to certainly follow all of the latest developments on this.
Eliminated his DEI programs and hiring, training, and picking suppliers. And they cite the Supreme Court ruling in affirmative action. I know you said that you wouldn't comment on business policies, but the administration really went out of its way to sort of convince businesses not to interpret that ruling as anything that further than that. Is there a disappointment there that companies like Meta and McDonald's, Walmart are rolling back these DEI policies?
You've heard from this president, you've heard from this administration, diversity is our greatest strength. You have seen this not just by words, by action that this president has taken. And certainly that is a sentiment you've heard echoed by leaders across businesses and government, not just us. And so that continues to be our stance on this. It is important to...
Meta made a decision this week about doing away with its fact-checking for Facebook and its other platforms. Does the White House have a reaction to that?
So, look, social media, I'll say this, social media companies make their own rules about content moderation. But with that said, we have been outspoken about our belief that the social media companies have an important role to play in enforcing their own rules to prevent the spread of misinformation. That is a responsibility that company has, and we've always been pretty clear about that.
I mean, I understand, but that is something that you guys have been outspoken about, and they're making a change on it. So yeah, I guess it's something I thought maybe you would want to comment on.
I mean, look, we talk about social media companies having a responsibility. We've always said that. We've all been really clear about that. We've also been clear that policy decisions that are made by private companies, we're not going to speak to those specific in announcement, but we can speak broadly on our belief and how we see their responsibility.
It's customary for presidents often to leave office with a final press conference. Does the president, does he plan to schedule one for his final week in office?
So I don't have anything to preview right now at this moment. As you know, as you just mentioned, the president took questions today. He took questions yesterday. He's going to certainly continue to engage with all of you by taking your questions, as he's done multiple times recently. I don't have anything to preview about a press conference.